Well, I know many people have seen the videos that went viral, out of the Sesame place where the characters passing by the black children, but yet sitting up there and acknowledging the white children. Well, the father actually came out and they are suing Sesame Place for about $25 million. They recently had a press conference on that. Let's roll that short clip.
Devastated, me and my wife, just looking at her face, it makes me want to cry every time I see it.
We want to punish SeaWorld because they know what happened was wrong, and we're sure that we are going to find that this was indeed a pattern that they were aware of. They just didn't care.
Filing a lawsuit is great, and that's fine, and I know good and well they probably settle with them. But this is my issue and problem with black people today. Martin Luther King, he showed us long time ago how to affect the corporations, how to make them do what you want them to do. And the thing that Dr. King used was economic boycotts. But it seemed like today, black folks would rather get in the streets with signs. They're even ready to get turned up in the street instead of doing economic boycotts. Economic boycotts are the easiest thing that we can do as a community. We don't break any laws. They can't pull out their military equipment on us. They can't do nothing. Nobody goes to jail. And we hurt them a lot more than anything else. See, one thing that Dr. King showed us is that you can do a protest, but it got to be followed by concrete action. You understand? So you show up with signs and say, hey, this place is anti-black and they don't like black people. And after that protest, we doing a minimum 1 year economic boycott. We don't go to Sesame Place. We don't watch Sesame Street on no TV shows. And we constantly have a campaign to call you out as an anti-black racist company. That would work very well, and it would hurt their brand. And they do not want their brand hurt. They don't want to be labeled as an anti-black racist company. They don't want to do that. If black folks would take that model and stick to the model, I'm telling you, we would get a lot more done and more responses would be done in our favor. But all this going to the street protesting, no justice, no peace, you're not following it with concrete action. That's why it doesn't mean anything anymore to protest anything. A lot of you don't want to take responsibility and be disciplined enough to say, I'm not going to this place for a year, and do it as a collective. You understand? Now, of course, we're going to have the raccoons. I ain't doing that. I'm still going over there. Even if 50% of us, 60% of us would stick to that, trust me. Oh, no, that's a lot of money being lost. The black people spend a lot of money. Black people is the number one consumer in America. And if you piss off the number one consumer, you're in trouble. You're in big time trouble. That's where black people's power lies. It lies in your economics. But when you still begging them people to treat us right, you got the power to make them treat you right. Because the thing is, they're not going to treat you right. That's no. But you make people treat you right. By saying, okay, you anti-black racist? We saw your statement you put out talking about you going to send them to diversity and all that. Oh, no. So that means to me, if you're going to send them to diversity class, that tells me you're not taking us seriously. So what we about to do is we're just going to go ahead and not watch your show. We're going to call you out as an anti-black racist company because you didn't fire the people whatsoever. And we're just not going to spend money with you. And if you want us to come back, you must go and apologize first and foremost, and admit to the anti-black racism. Then we need you to go to the African American History Museum in Washington, D.C. And we need to see you tour that so you can get an education on what black people have been through in America. Then we need you to sit down with some black pastors and talk to them, or black community leaders, grassroots leaders, and talk to them and get education as well about the day-to-day life about black America after you do all of that. And then after they donate to some, grassroots organizations and all of that, and, make sure they go on every black show and apologize for what they done. And then after a year of that, then we can revisit about going back to Sesame Place. Now you may say, why are you saying all that? That's the model that the Jewish community used. I gave you. Look at Nick Cannon. That's exactly what he had to do. Everything I just said. And that's been a pattern for at least 10 years I've been doing this. Anybody that offends the Jewish community, they got to go to the Holocaust Museum. They got to talk to rabbis. They got to be on an apology tour. And then after about a year or so, if they did everything just right, then Nick Cannon was allowed to go back to wilding out and everything else. But he was sat down for a year. I think that's a great model. I'm not mad at them. I'm not. We should take that model because we are still dealing with anti-black racism and hatred. But see, the Jewish community respect themselves as a collective of people. We don't respect ourselves because we don't make people respect us. See, people are not going to do nothing for you. You have to make them. And making somebody do something shows that you have power. And a lot of y'all are afraid of power is your problem. You're afraid. You're afraid to make white mommy and daddy angry with you. That's what a lot of the problem is with you. A lot of you still on this, please, Mr. White Man, treat me right, please. Instead of saying, no, you gon' treat me right. It ain't no begging. I'm not begging you. I'm telling you what you're gonna do. And if you don't treat me right, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you why you're gonna treat me right. Because I know what you need from me. You need my money. And that's where my power lies. And a lot of you just throw your power away. You don't be strategic about anything. This is why they don't want me to really have a big national voice, because that's what I promote. I'm like, get out them streets. No. We ain't, don't you dare put a hand on a business. Don't you? Nope. I don't want these folks coming infiltrating anything. No. We just gonna be on code with it, and we gonna say, you anti-black? Okay, no problem. You're done for at least for a year, and let's see what you can do after a year. Let's see if you're gonna treat black children right after a year. Usually when you get at them that much, all of a sudden they'll get a black CEO, boy, everybody black running the place. Hey, it opens up jobs for black people. But that's when you make moves. You understand? So yeah, okay, suing is great, but I would like to see him boycotted for a year. For a year. And see, this kind of talk that I'm doing, that's what scares corporations. They don't like to hear that kind of talk. Wait a minute, boycott? I mean, can we just like pay a lawsuit and because, they got business insurance for lawsuits. Hope you know that. That's part of their business insurance plans. Yeah. So it's not even coming out of their really pocket. It's coming out of insurance when they pay these lawsuits. But let me know what y'all think about this situation. Ladies and gentlemen, stop being afraid of power, black people. Stop. You always going to be in a victim position if you begging and pleading. But if you tell people what you're not going to do, I'm telling you how you're going to treat me, and then you move in kind, then you show people you have power.